Paris, and it was a great Olympics. Like, what's your opinion of the whole track and field, Team USA track and field, Paris
Team
2020?
USA?
Yes.
Well, Team USA had a lot of success. I mean, I think it was the most medals they've ever had in the Olympic Games, and I don't know about golds, but I know it's the most medals. So they had an incredible performance. And obviously, other than the men's relay, I thought the games went amazing. There were some upsets with the 1500, and some of the field events didn't go as well as they could have. But I thought that USA overall had a really good Olympic Games.
Specifically on Noah Lyle and his 100-meter final, like, what did you make of that performance? It was such a tight race.
Yeah, it was tight, but the 100 meters is often very tight. For the most part, he's been running the best the last couple of years. He was world champion. He hadn't lost a really big 100 meters in a long time. So I thought that the best person won. And the one who ran the best, most prepared, definitely won it. So I thought he ran really well.
So I was in Paris and I spoke with a lot of former track and field athletes, and I asked all of them who's Noah Lyle's biggest enemy, and they all said himself. Do you agree on that?
Yeah, I think enemy is the wrong way to think of it. It's who's your competition. I mean, and when you say yourself, what we really mean is excellence, which is missing in a lot of sports nowadays. We're so focused on the prize, not the excellence. So I agree, because the only way to win races is to run faster than everyone else. And if you're already ahead, you keep running faster, then they don't catch you.
What's the meaning of victory?
Victory?
Yeah.
That's personal. And for everyone has victory. For me, it's just, can you look at a performance or whatever you do and say, I did my absolute best. And if I didn't, can I learn from it? So victory is winning. I've had a lot of chances to win a lot of races, but I have some performances that I'm also proud of, that I learned more. So it could be wins, it could be losses. So I think victory is when you take it and get something out of it and get the best out of it, whether it's that day or you use that to get the best out of something later.
And what's your memories of Atlanta, your last dance?
Oh, thank goodness. Reaching back. No, Atlanta was incredible. I didn't think there were numerous things going on. First of all, I never thought I'd be in the Olympics, in 4 Olympics. I never thought that I'd run that long. So to even be there is a big issue. Being the oldest athlete that was there, one of the oldest in the entire team, was big also. But I think the biggest thing was it showed me that the fundamentals of jumping that I learned early allowed me to get through that. If I was, my entire career, it wasn't about hoping I could jump far that day. I knew how far I could jump each meet. Now, when you have a great meet like Tokyo or whatever, I didn't think I'd jump over 29 feet 3 times, but I knew I could jump 29 feet. And I knew that I could jump 850 or so that day. So I think the biggest thing for me was that it was all done 15 years earlier when I learned how to jump, respected the challenge of it, the difficulty of it, started jumping over 853 as much as possible, and to get consistent so that I knew that I could be ahead of everyone else.
Can I ask you something? World Athletics this year announced that all the gold medal winners will get $50,000 as a reward.
Yeah.
I asked the same question to Usain Bolt, and he said, well, can that be retroactive and he get some money from mine? But jokes aside, do you think it was due and maybe a little bit too late? Would you have seen it happening a little bit earlier?
Well, I mean, I don't look at things like that. I mean, it's just, look, when I came into my career, my mentors were Bob Beeman, that in 1968, 72, 76, they hardly received anything. So I don't really look at it. I was able to take it to another level financially. I did extremely well financially. So I'm like, it's their time now. So I'm happy for it. I hope that by the next Olympic Games, we can up that to all three medalists. I don't think we should go farther than that, but I think all 3 medalists should be the goal for us to give some sort of financial support to the next Olympic Games around. So I support it 100%.
The last one for me, you're one of the biggest icon, or maybe the biggest icon in track and field. How much does it mean to you that people still remember you, but also just not because of everything that you achieved, but also for the longevity of your career?
Well, I think that what's interesting is and kind of explain that where it kind of hit me. When I was in Atlanta, I was headed to the car. A guy ran up to me with his son. I guess the son was maybe 3 or 4, something like that. And he introduced himself, and just so happened, and he said, my father took me when I was a little kid, because he was probably late 20s, and my father, when I was a teenager, took me to watch you. and now I'm taking my son. So father, son, grandson was able to watch me live in competition. And that's when it hit me that, wow, you know, I've kind of been around for generations. And the athletes I competed against, in 1980, when I was only 18 and 17 years old, I competed against people that were in this 1968 Olympics. And there were people that I competed against in 96 that went all the way to 2004, 2008. So think about that, from 68 to 2008. That's a long time to be a part of it. So it comes from just continuously doing it, but also I thought it was important to spread the word of the sport around the world, to travel everywhere in the world. I love, you know, I'm often asked, what's your favorite city? I don't have a favorite city. There's so many incredible places that are so rich in so many ways. So that's very important to me, that people still go. And even now in the United States, the kids, a lot of the kids do, because I still have youth programs and things going. So now the little kids know. So it's really interesting that you have probably people from 70, 80s, all the way down to 9, 10, and 11 that kind of remember what I'm doing.
Thank you very much.
No.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I love Italy. I've always had great time here. The weather's beautiful today. I live in Houston, so it's a little bit warmer, but it's really nice, and I really do. I've been all over Italy, and you know, so many different reasons, so many different ways.
Carlo,
Memories of Pietro Mennea?
Yes.
Great memories of a lot of competition.
Yeah.
And so the last time I saw him, he was in Parliament, I guess. I was doing a United Nations event. He was there. So we've had great times, and you know, I think just like Italy, we all miss it.
Thank you very much.
Carlo, sorry, the last question. Do you practice any sports now?
Athletes do sports. The rest of us just play, you know. So I ride, I cycle, and I work out fitness-wise. But I cycle.
Thank
Do
you.
you
Thank you.
follow any special diet? Because I know you are
Yeah,
vegetarian.
you don't eat too much.
Thank you very much.
You know that thing that we all old people have to do.
What is Italy for you?
Carl, we get one back here.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Okay.
Scusa, devo prendere il mio zaino?
Oh, you got the whole.
Grazie.
Anyone else?
The legends.
I just took it
Oh,
with
you
Dawn's
took
phone.
it.
Did you need another phone? You guys are good?
Il mio phone? Sì, dai.
Can you use yours?
Elisa la fai tu?
Cioè io scusate.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Wonderful. Grazie.
Now you gotta go.
Thank you very much, Carlo.
Grazie. Grazie ragazzi. Per favore fate passare ragazzi. Grazie. Andiamo ragazzi. Fate strada ragazzi, fate passare per favore.
Dai, lascia. Carlos.
Excuse me?
You aren't a parent. You are only
I'm his brother.
You are his brother. È suo fratello, no? Sì o no? Sì.
Can you give me the address?
I can jump in if you want.
È un parente? No. Oh, bene. No, mi risponda dopo.
A posto? Sì, sì, è un suo parente.
È il fratello?
Non lo so,
Comunque un parente?
penso di sì, non lo so.
Magari.
Non lo so bene, ma sì,
No.
comunque penso di sì.
Sì.
Voi avete bisogno di quello lì?
Prendiamo.
Volevo almeno salutare. La leggenda Cristina Pantoni. RSI Svizzera?
Sì.
Come si chiama? Forse
Pusterla Gianluca, piacere.
di dove Gianluca?
Di Lugano.
Grazie.
Scusi che non voglio. Sta qua in questi giorni o solo oggi?
Sì, dai.
Mi scusi, Io sono un freelance che racconta tanto giornali e giornalisti.
Ok.
Dico, resta anche La ritrovo domani?
Sì, facciamo fino a domenica.
Se no, se avesse tempo adesso, 5 minuti, glieli rubo volentieri.